Om Sehana Vavatu Sehano Bhunaktu Sehaviriyam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May God protect both teacher and student. May He nourish us together. May we work together with great energy. May our studies be enlightening. May there be no hate among us. Om, peace, peace, peace. We completed Patanjali's Yoga Sutra last time, and there were at the end some points or questions. I do not remember them, but if you can refresh me with those that you wanted to know. What was it Banishri or was it Kapilji? Who I don't remember, but I guess there were some points that we did not complete. Or anybody has any points to ask?
Acharya, can you hear me?
Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Now it is all right. Now it is all right. Now it is all right.
Barely.
Oh, let me just attach my headphone. Hello?
Yes.
It is all right now? It is all right?
The better.
Okay. Okay. So, I even don't even have the question, but I wanted to clarify the points Pratihara once again. The part Pratihara. Pratihara.
Pratihara.
Yes. I wanted to just get more information about Pratihara.
So, what is it that is not clear in Pratihara? Or you have some more that you think that it is not clear to you? What is it that is not clear?
Actually, I need a recapitulation. Very true to say. A total recapitulation of the whole thing.
Okay.
And the other point what just started at the end of the session last time, that is the point of intelligence and that part, intellectuality and all these things. So that was just started and you just briefly say, but that may have some more discussion over it. But that was started. That much I can tell you.
At this stage, for all of us, it would suffice to know a short briefing or short definition of Pratihara is, the word Pratihara literally means that your ahar, your intake of food is restricted. So now it does not mean it's restricted and you must avoid it. can have what you need, but do not overindulge in your eating and drinking habits. So consciously restricting your intake of food, that's what it means, pratyahara. But it also means that you have a consciously controlling the gratification of your senses. So, as you know, we have 5 sense organs. Each sense organ is designed to pass on the experience to our brain. Yeah. So with the touch of the sense of touch, the instrument or organ is our hand, for example, or a skin, which has a direct connection with the touch. So the experience of touch is then transferred to the brain, and brain make the perception of the touch. Similarly, the tongue, the mouth, the taste, and what we see through eyes or what we hear through ears, these are the sense organs. They are only performing their job, but it passes on the information to the brain, and then brain makes the perceptions, and the mind will then perform their likes and dislikes. So in yoga, the pratyahara means that you have a discipline on your sense organs. Try not to overindulge in gratification of your senses. You may like certain food and therefore you go on eating there, or you repeatedly eating there. Is not recommended according to the Patanjali's yoga. Similarly, your touch or a smell or seeing or hearing, all these sense organs have to be brought into some amount of discipline. So pratyahara in short means to discipline or consciously controlling your intake of food, and also consciously restricting the gratification of your sense organs. That is pratyahara.
The implication of this in daily life, Acharya ji?
Sorry?
The application of this in our daily life.
Yes. It depends. If you want to live a life of a yogi, you must not do what is advised. But if you want to live a life as you have been living, then there are no restrictions. You can do what you like. But if you want to change your lifestyle and follow the more yogic lifestyle, then you must be conscious of what not to eat, when not to eat, and how not to eat. Remember, as far as food is concerned, most important is what you eat, when you eat, and how you eat. If you are conscious about these 3 factors, and moment you are conscious, the amount of restrictions or discipline will come in place. You don't have to do anything. It will happen. Your higher self will guide you. Your higher intelligence, your higher self would know when to eat, how to eat, what to eat. But if you don't be in awareness, if you are continuing your lifestyle as it is, you do not know how to eat. We all eat, but we do not know how to eat. In order to be in balance with your internal, let's say, simple example. When you are chewing your food, are you aware of chewing? And how long and how much are you chewing? I'm talking an average food. I'm not talking any specific food, because there are some food that requires much more chewing. There are some food that doesn't need much chewing. I'm talking an average food of a vegetarian meal. How much are you chewing? Are you aware of that? That is one of the factor of how to eat. When to eat, of course, everybody knows that you should eat when you are hungry. And what to eat is also very important. You mustn't eat something which disturbs your internal health. But how to eat is also equally important. Being aware of all these things will bring you amount of pratyahara in your daily life. Similarly, sense gratifications. You like to watch movies or watch television, but if you're conscious that by watching television, you are only watching a screen. All that you see is the appearance. It's not real. It looks real on the screen. So if you see a beautiful beach on the screen of a movie or a program on television, it only appearance. You have not seen the beach in reality. So your mind is then satisfied with what is not real, because you are only watching a screen. So just remain aware of what you're doing. That's pratyahara. If you feel like sleeping and you do not bring about the kind of discipline, in the morning, in the winter morning, you don't like to get out of your bed because your mind wants to stay in the bed. But if you are conscious and you know that in the morning is the best time to practice certain asanas or practice certain sadhanas or prayers or whatever. So it depends on what lifestyle you want to follow. That's pratyahara. So it can, all that we talk, all that we in spirituality or in yoga, all that we are doing or talking, ultimately have to be practiced. As I said, it remains only in information or maybe in knowledge, maybe, but not even in knowledge. Usually it stays as only information. A piece of information comes and goes. But when you are contemplating and convert that into a knowledge and try to live by that knowledge or practice that knowledge, then you get clarity. And when you have clarity, you earn the wisdom. And when you live your life with that wisdom, it's your personal experience of what you have gained the information, knowledge, and then becomes your experience. Is Chaitali here today? She was asking something.
She isn't here today.
Okay.
Acharya ji, if I may continue on what you just discussed. Let's forget I know what is right for me, what to do. So why don't I do it? Collectively, I mean, what is this gravity which keeps pulling you down? It's so much easier to be down than to rise up in spirituality or in anything. I mean, collectively, when I look at the thought came to me last week when I spoke. India is known as the country of ancient wisdom, as we call it. And yet, look what we've done to our rivers, our forests, our air. We all know what is right. What stops us from? What keeps pulling me down?
You see, the one of the main reason is, I would attribute it to ignorance. Second, ego. These are the two aspects. I'm talking not for individual, I'm talking in general. And so when you say of a country like India, it is over a period of time, there were certain external factors that changed the mindset. Yeah, the mind conditioning. Probably you know our history has a record that so-called uneducated people of India had a greater skill than many so-called educated mathematicians or scientists or technicians in other countries. So they a skilled labor who has not gone to school, but he is in position to perform his job far better than those who have got a so-called certificate to perform that job. Why? Because he is doing that work consciously as his own interest, with his own interest. Yeah, because he knows that is all that he knows, and that is all that he can perform, and that is only that brings him food at home. So he's totally dedicated to what he is doing. And this was the kind of a culture that India enjoyed. Most people had their skill in whatever field of their activity. Now, on the whole, that brings about some amount of, let's say, conscious living of what is good, collectively good, and what is collectively not good. People they did not have a tap water at home. People used to walk out of their home a couple of kilometers and to fetch a water from a stream or a well. The quality of the stream water and the well ought to be good enough to sustain themselves. That is one point of view. Second point of view is that they, because of their labor, their physical activity, developed their immunity to the extent that they could adjust or digest whatever is the quality of food and water available. In either case, they survived. They maintained with the no running water at home, even no electricity available, but they managed. So what had happened was that more or less everyone had that circumstances or situations or conditions. So they were at par. Yeah, and that brought about the tendency to keep the place clean, to keep the environment clean, to keep the, let's say, their water sources clean, the air, the food. Yeah, that was the way of lifestyle. Then came the period when there were certain, let's say, the period of industrial revolution. Yeah, probably that was the beginning of the, I would say, downward journey of our conscious living. It was became a rat race of acquiring more, let's say, materialistic things at work, at place, at home. And then you had a situation that you felt uncomfortable if you see your neighbor or your colleague has a better lifestyle or better work or luxury commodities, etc. And that became a rat race. It's nothing wrong about it. If you earn money, you must have luxury. But they compromised on looking after the environment, looking after the surroundings, looking after the community, looking after these resources that they have available. And this does not happen in one day to next day or 1 week or 1 month, a year. Over a period of 10, 20, 40 years, gradually it deteriorates. It gradually deteriorates. But it's only few who have this awareness that it should be set right, but they take no action. That's the reality of today. As an individual, you must be very conscious and you want to do it, but you are restricted in terms of doing it for community, for whatever reason, because you have no a group or people around you who appreciate your views, and then it dies. So it is, ultimately, it is not individual. Ultimately, each individual have to have the same understanding and values, and then collectively work on it to bring back the same, let's say, cleanliness, or whether water or air or noise pollution or whatever it is. As simple as this, people who have been living in India and then go out of India and see this situation, you realize it's not just that it is taught in the school, the civic sense, for example. Of course, it is taught in India and everywhere else, what are the civic sense, but people are enforced to follow it. And therefore, things are different. Things are different. A very popular example is a man who was traveled to Singapore, and he does not speak, but when he is landing in Bombay or when back in India, if he is habit of speaking, he will speak. So what changes it? It's the same man who behaved so well other place, but comes back to, let's say, spitting, polluting, or not taking a responsibility of maintaining the place and cleanliness. Why? What changes? It 3, 4, 5 hours of flight does not change things. It is inbuilt characteristic. Over there, they perform better under the fear that if he is caught, he will be in trouble. When he's back, he does not have that fear, because that's the way he sees around him. That's the norm. But only those who are aware, feeling that if that looks better, then why not I follow the same here to make it better? And when that spreads out from one to many, ultimately things will change. So it's just being conscious at individual level and spread it. It will spread. It needs some time and some effort, but it will spread. People will realize.
So it's all about discipline and awareness. So that is what I was to.
Yeah, most important is awareness. Always. End of everything. Bottom line of every aspect in life is being conscious. That's all it is. In every field, every aspect of your life, moment you are, that's why it is in the school, it is taught, think before you talk. The word comes out of your mouth, it reaches out, the sound vibration, whatever you have spoken, reaches out to the person to whom you have said, but it also stays in the what we call in ether. Yeah. And it is always there. You cannot get it back. You cannot delete it. It stays there. So think about it before you speak. And then it's the best thing is to watch traditional Japanese population. If you ask a question, they will take their own time before they reply. They wouldn't on the spot, instantly they would not answer you. In their own tradition, they said they will refer it to their angel. And as what comes as an intuition or gut feeling or a message from their angel, they will talk. I'm talking about the old culture of Japan, traditional, young, different, modern generation has different thing, but it's ultimately everything is on your being aware. And how do you be aware? Moment you start living in the present moment, you are aware. Awareness is nothing but living moment by moment in this particular present moment, totally, not partially. Not that you are trying to attempt a couple of things at a time and you think you are attending this and also looking at mobile, also messaging somebody, or also listening to something else. Then your attention is divided. Then you cannot be, you are not aware of none of those activities. Then it is robotic action.
Okay. Thank you.
Acharya ji, why the present generation is running with lack of awareness?
Yeah, I mean, lack of awareness, we all have that problem. None of us are out of it. Everyone, momentarily, we lose the control, we lose the awareness, and we indulge in activity that are of not mindful. You are just doing it without being consciously aware of it. That happens, but coming back quickly enough, realizing it that I said something, or I behaved in certain manners, or I spoke something out of ignorance, which was an error, and I must be aware of my error and correct myself and get back to my being aware of living in the present moment, being aware of it, being aware of what very simple thing it is said that when you speak, before it reaches to other person, you should be able to hear your own voice and the meaning of what you are talking. Yeah, because what I tell you is a half action. It's action from my side. Important is that you must receive it. If you do not receive it, what I have said, it bounces back, and when it bounces back, it stays in the ether, in the environment. You have not received it, does not affect you, but once I have said something, it will stay in ether, and worst of all, it affects me first and foremost, the one who says. I'm talking of irrespective of what it is, whether it's a positive thing or negative thing or good thing or not good, whatever. First response or first reaction or first effect is on the one who speaks. Because once you speak, it is already reflection of your thoughts, reflection of your mind, only that what you speak. What you have been thinking, what you have been perceiving is what you are talking. So that comes to you before it reaches to anybody. That's why they say, when you are in public, be aware of what you talk. And when you are alone, sitting, silence and stillness, watch your thought. What kind of thought are you getting? Because when you sit by yourself, doing no activity, maintaining silence and stillness physically, but your mind is busy, mind will keep getting different thoughts. Now, what kind of thought are you getting? Is what you need to watch. Whether thoughts are repeating, same thoughts are coming at a certain interval, or each time you're getting new thought. Be aware of that. And if the thoughts are repetitive, what is the nature of that thought? What is the subject of that thought? Is that thought uplifting your understanding on spirituality, or is it indulging you back into rat race? Just be aware of that. That's enough for ultimately reducing the traffic of your thought. Quality of thought will change. Let's check today. How many of you have tried to sit by yourself? I think I have asked you earlier as well. By yourself alone, trying to close your eyes, speaking nothing, complete silence, not speaking, not hearing external noise or sound, and not touching sense organs, all your skin, which means you are in Dhyan Mudra or Gyan Mudra. So you are having a feeling of your own touch, yeah, your own touch. You are, the only touch that you may have is the place you are sitting, yeah, mat or a chair or whatever. Some part of your body has the touch to the other object. That's the only touch that you have. Other than that, you don't have any touch. Eyes are shut. You don't have any noise or sound coming to you because you are in a room which is closed, or you put on earplug or something that you don't hear external sound. Yeah? So 3 major senses are restricted: seeing, hearing, and touch. What left is smell, nose, and taste. Obviously, you are not eating or drinking at that time, so there is no taste. Smell, try not to have situation which gives you, let's say, unnatural smell. What is natural in the environment, in the air, in the circumstance, it's neutral smell, which is all right. So your 5 sense organs are in discipline. Yeah. Are you able to sit in stillness with those 5 elements, 5 senses in control? Are you able to sit in stillness for more than 10 minutes? 10 minutes, no movement of your body at all. No shaking or vibrating your fingers or not turning your, only vibration, only movement, only physical movement is your breathing. And because you are breathing, there will be a subtle movement of your stomach muscles or diaphragm. And you are aware of it. You must be aware of it. Apart from that, no movement of your physical body. 10 minutes. If you are able to sit for 10 minutes, then after 10 minutes, when you open your eyes, write down the thought that you got. Yeah? You can only achieve stillness of your body. You have not reached to a point where you can still your mind. Mind activity of thoughts will happen. But for 10 minutes, you remain physically still and silent. After 10 minutes, recollect thoughts that you got in those 10 minutes, write it down. Do this for 1 week. And after 1 week, check your book that you have noted all your thoughts. Find out, are the thoughts every day different in those 10 minutes? Or are these same thoughts appear every day in those 10 minutes? And what is the nature of the thought? What is the quality of that thought? Just watch your own self. Do it. It's a simple exercise you can do. Everyone can do it. That will bring the awareness. And that is your subconscious mind is trained to be conscious about thought that you're getting. So like when we do a dharana and we say, watch your breath, and watching breath intensely restricts other thoughts. Because if you are conscious about watching your breathing, each time the other thought disturbs you, you can gently push it away and get back to your original dharana of watching breath. Repeatedly doing that, your mind has a tendency of staying focused on one. You have to train. That's it. You cannot have thoughtlessness, but you can train your mind to focus on one, and mind will stay on that. Moment you achieve that level, you are in dhyana. And after that, it is all your, let's say, your karma and your merits that will give you further experiences of samadhi, momentary, turiya. But try it. As I said, try without trying, without putting attempt, 10 minutes and see what happens for 1 week. This is much more important than spending 20 minutes, 30 minutes doing different asanas. I'm not saying asana is not important. It is important. Pranayama are very important, but more important about everything else is doing nothing. Just do nothing. Just sit. Do not make any attempt or effort in doing it. When you are able to bring silence and stillness of your body and watch what happens next. It may take about a week for you to get used to that and then see what is the result. And that's what I recommend everyone. And my personal experience is all about that. That you start smiling for no reason after that, because you have touched upon, you have experienced certain things within yourself that gives you joy. And after all, everything that we do is to make us feel happy. So instead of doing so many things, just do nothing and still feel joyful. So if there are no more comments or questions, let's practice today what we have just spoken. Let us sit effortlessly. Do not push yourself to not think, etc. Just very normal, natural, only trying to be aware in the moment, which means watch your breath, watch your thought. Let thought come and go, whatever it is. Don't struggle, don't agitate. It's the nature of your mind. Thoughts will come, all kind of thoughts will come. Let it happen, but be aware. Just watch them. Shall we do that?
Yes, Acharya.
Yes, Acharya ji.
But the condition is only one. Physically maintain stillness, which means if you feel like coughing, getting up, scratching, itching, whatever, do whatever you want to do now. But after that, for 10 minutes, no movement, just no movement, like a dead body. In fact, you can lie down if you like. It's not necessary you sit. Don't sleep, only keep your mind fully conscious. Your brain, you should be aware of everything around you, and yet effortless. Let things happen on its own. Okay, let's begin. Just sit or lie down. Close your eyes gently and relax your body, relax your facial muscles. Quickly be aware of your surrounding. With your eyes closed, try to visualize every object that around you. Notice them. Also feel the touch of the ground, the mat where you are sitting, the touch of your body with the mat, or sit wherever you are. Bring your attention to the point where you are, your body weight is rested. Check the sense of smell. Are you able to get any aroma, any smell, any odor, anything that you notice? Or is this just the neutral, natural smell of the atmosphere? Then try to bring attention to your hearing. What are you hearing? What kind of sound? Just notice the sound. Do not identify, do not discriminate, do not do any brain activity. Just be aware of sound that you hear. Now, with your eyes closed, you have watched your surrounding. You have checked the attention on the touch of your body on the mat or a chair, the smell, hearing, and the last is your taste. You are neither eating or drinking anything at the moment, but your own saliva that you have, which is the natural process of taking your saliva into you. Be aware of that. This is how you train your mind to be focused, conscious about all that is perceived through five sense organs. Now bring your attention to watching your breath, inhalation and exhalation. While watching your breath, also be aware of thought that you may have and check what kind of thought are you getting, how long does the thought stay with you, each time you experience different thought, notice it, do not judge, bring back your attention to your watching breath. Your mind is now focused in watching breath. The bridge between the life and disappearance of life. Stay focused, remain If you like, you can gently open your eyes. Now, I'm sure each one of you had different experience, different kind of thoughts. Whatever it is, just be aware of it. Just be aware of whatever that happened in 10 minutes. You may have uncomfortable posture, uncomfortable feeling. You may have enjoyed sitting by yourself. You may have certain visions. Whatever is your experience, it is your experience. Be aware of it. And when you repeat this kind of sitting by yourself each time, try to note it down and then review. End of 1 week or something, just review of your thoughts, quality of your thoughts, or nature of your thoughts. This practice trains your mind to direct your thought traffic, to a particular goal or particular quality of your thought. Like, for instance, today we're watching breath. So your mind will slowly get used to only watch thoughts during that 10 minutes that you sit. Other thoughts will gradually reduce. But do not agitate. Even if you continue getting thoughts, accept them. Moment you struggle, moment you agitate, you are back to the normal conditioning of your mind. You are then back to the mind trap. Accept them and just be aware. So we have 5 more minutes to talk about if there is anything that you share, and then we offer the prayer. And I do not know how many of you have understood the meaning of the prayer that we do every day? Asatoma Sadgamaya. What does it mean? I'm sure some of you know it already because we recite every time, and so one must know what we are chanting, what we are reciting. So, that in this context, I just get a thought, just got a thought that many of you are visiting holy places either every day or often enough or whenever. Places like going to place of worship, whatever it is, temple or Gurudwara or whichever place that you like to go. What makes you go there again? What brings you back to such holy place or place of worship? I rather not use the word holy place, but I would say a place of worship. You visit either on daily basis or repeatedly. What takes you back there? Just be aware of it. Think about it. Are you doing it because that's the norms that you follow? Norms of society or community? Are you doing it because it's supposed to be done? We don't know why, but supposed to be done, so it is done. Or are you feeling peaceful? Are you feeling satisfied? Are you feeling some kind of higher satisfaction going to such places? What takes you back? Think about it. Or some of you may not be visiting at all, but having some place at home where you like to so-called be in touch with the higher self, call it God, call it deity, call it guru, whatever. What makes you do it again? For example, doing yoga again, because you have a reason to do it again. So what is the reason of going to such places of worship? Maybe we can talk about this next week. It's again a practice of living a life of awareness.
For me,
All
Acharya
our-
ji, it is. Yes, Acharya ji.
Yes, Aditi.
So for me, it is peace and the positive energy that these places are just filled with. It makes me
Okay.
go there. If I go,
Tranquility.
it's a rarity as such that I go to the holy places. I
Okay,
generally
good.
try to find it inside me,
Okay. So
sitting in stillness.
as and when you go to such place, your experience, or you go second time or again, is just because it gives you some amount of positive energy or feel good factor. Is that right?
The somehow the stability in that place seems to be nowhere else. It seems so. If at all I would go back,
Okay.
the places that I remember I liked going are those. It was just a positivity and nothing else. Just settled places. All the vibrations were as if was settled down. So
Okay.
a lot of peace.
Okay.
Tranquility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. So please remember what you just answered. We will continue talking about it next week. But you must remember what was today's answer that you had, or your reason for such going back such places.
Sure.
Second thing is, all such places offers you what is termed as a prasada. Yeah, the priest or the where if you go to any place, they serve you some prasad. They give you often. Right? What is it that you and why is it offered? Why are you receiving that prasad? What is the prasad means? Well, different culture, different name given, but that doesn't matter. You may have a small token of sweet, for example, or a flower, or anything. It need not be something that is something that you eat. Some places they offer you flowers. Yeah, some places they offer you a candle, or for example, as the token of you going there as and in reciprocating as a prasad. Yeah, or some places they offer you a full-fledged meal to eat. Does not matter what they offer, but you receive it as a prasad. What is it? What is the purpose of offering such things, and why do they do that? What's original idea of offering that prasad to devotee, to those who go to workshop, place of worship? These are the two things that you must think about until next week and we talk.
Yes, Acharya ji.
Let's do prayer. Om. 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 Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, God, for giving us air to breathe. Thank you, God, for giving us air to breathe. Thank you, God, for giving us sun for energy. Thank you, God, for giving us food to eat. Thank you, God, for giving us good health and happiness. Thank you, God, for giving us positivity. Thank you, God, for giving us all that we need. Thank you, God, for your love, your protection, your guidance, your blessings. Thank you, God, for the existence. Thank you for giving me a chance to serve you.